Hello everyone, my name's Susan Douglas-Scott, Board Chair, NHS Golden Jubilee, and this month I'm here to talk to you about the fact that February is LGBT History Month, and this is united across the whole of the UK. It's happened since 2005 that helps highlight what the issues facing the LGBT community still is like in the United Kingdom today. And although we've had a lot of progress, things have still to move on, and it's really important that organisations like the NHS embrace equality for all different groups. So this month allows us to really focus on what that means for any employees, patients, volunteers, visitors who happen to come under the LGBT umbrella. LGBT History Month was created after the abolition of Section 2A of the Local Authority Act here in Scotland. And this was a piece of legislation, often known as Section 28, because that was the number in England and Wales, that said that local authorities could not promote homosexuality. I'm going to read you the words. It said that the local authority shall not intentionally promote homosexuality or publish material with the intention of promoting homosexuality, and B, promote the teaching in any maintained school of the acceptability of homosexuality as a pretended family relationship. Now that's very much kind of couched in old-fashioned language, isn't it, nowadays? But it was a very hard-fought and public debate that the Act was repealed both in Scotland and in other parts of the UK. And it was in July 2000 actually that here in Scotland that it was repealed, and it wasn't until some 3 years later that it was repealed in England and Wales. Now, as a lesbian mum of primary school children at that stage in my life, I had to deal with the vitriol of a privately funded referendum that happened here in Scotland. So I would take my youngest to school and have to park my car underneath a gigantic billboard with an advert on saying that my family was less valuable, that my family should not be discussed in school settings, and that my family was not a worthwhile place to bring up children. Now, I'm lucky enough that I have a very supportive partner, and that together we were able to bring our 5 now young people up to believe in diversity and inclusion and equality, and we rode that storm as a family. But it was an extremely difficult time for us personally, and I think professionally that just encouraged me even more to look for wider equality for LGBT plus people in society in Scotland and across the UK, but also in organisations that I'm involved in. And that's why I'm extremely proud to be able to announce that at NHS Golden Jubilee we have been awarded the Gold Award by Stonewall in their Equality Index. We've been part of that workplace index now for some 10 years, I believe, more than a decade in fact. Stonewall introduced this scheme to recognise and celebrate the achievements of organisations that are inclusive, and it also gives us an opportunity to share how we achieve that inclusivity so that other organisations might perhaps follow our lead and make sure that they're including any LGBT staff that they also have. So the Gold Employer Award is only given to employers that actually meet certain criteria, and there's key 8 segments that you have to be able to make sure that you're achieving as an organisation in order to get this award. So I'm very proud, as I say, to say that NHS Golden Jubilee has successfully proven their commitment to providing an inclusive working environment in lots of different areas. So for example, we have introduced gender single-use facilities across the hospital and our hotel facility too. And we're also in the process of expanding. Built one new eye centre, and we're building another suite of theatres. And in both of those buildings we've made sure that we have single-use gender neutral facilities throughout. So that makes them accessible from all sorts of different points of view, but particularly for LGBT people. We've also ensured that all of our policies are inclusive and are accompanied by equality impact assessments that make sure that they consider the impact of all 9 protected characteristics across the equality agenda. We also relaunched our LGBT plus equality network for staff and volunteers. It's also for our allies as well, and it offers a safe space for people to be able to share experiences both negative and positive, and work out ways forward that will best serve our communities. So overall, we are really promoting inclusivity across the whole of NHS Golden Jubilee, and that for me creates a safer, fairer environment for everyone, one where people can come to their work, whether that's as a paid member of staff or as a volunteer, and in fact it extends to our visitors and our patients as well. And it means that people can be themselves. They bring their whole selves to their workplace or their whole selves to the place where they're getting treatment, and therefore at the end of the day we have safer and more effective, more person-centred services at the end. Additionally, we've also taken part in the NHS's Pride Badge campaign, and at NHS Golden Jubilee we now have 195 staff who have participated in that, and that also means that they've taken part in additional training. So overall, all of these things mean that as an organisation we are absolutely positive about creating a safe place for both our staff and our patients, and indeed anybody who walks through our front door, to come to and just be. All of these things mean that Golden Jubilee is absolutely embracing inclusivity and equality in our organisation, and that we look forward to a world that is both inclusive and safer and more accepting of everybody for who they are.